A young Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, is first seen as a little girl in Africa alongside a young Logan and Victor Creed. Years later, she went on to join the X-Men, where she also taught younger mutants.
Sorry.
A few years later, she and Cyclops rescue Wolverine and Rogue from an explosion.
Logan, I'd like you to meet Aurora Monroe.
She welcomes Wolverine to the mansion alongside Cyclops, Jean, and Professor Xavier.
Storm.
Later that day, she questions how Logan is able to survive his adamantium procedure. She tries to figure out why Magneto wants him. Later that night, Storm and Jean rush to Wolverine's aid as his energy was being absorbed by Rogue mistakenly. The next day, Storm and Wolverine cannot locate Rogue. Professor Xavier uses Cerebro to locate her. Storm rushes off with Cyclops to find her.
You look around. I'll check with the ticket agent.
Storm checks in with the ticket agent and hopes for answers. She is attacked by Sabretooth, but summons lightning, striking him down. After an unsuccessful attempt at finding Rogue, Wolverine suggests finding him alone. Storm tries to convince him to stay, suggesting he chooses a side and fight alongside the X-Men. Senator Kelly stumbles at their doorsteps. She comes to Kelly's aid after he calls out. After being asked if she hated normal people, she replies she does sometimes, as she is afraid of them. Shortly after, Kelly turns into water, which results in his death. Storm quickly tells the others.
Senator Kelly is dead.
She, along with the X-Men, devise a plan to stop Magneto from hurting more humans. Storm suits up and pilots the jet. She flies the X-Men to Ellis Island, where Magneto and the Brotherhood are located. She uses her powers to create fog to hide the X-Jet from being detected. As they enter the Statue of Liberty, they are attacked by Mystique and Toad. Storm tries to rush to an open area to better hone her lightning as the metal around her makes it useless. She goes toe-to-toe with Toad, but ultimately is defeated by his quick reflexes. Once Storm regains her strength, her powers grow stronger. She knocks him through an opening and strikes him down. Reunited back with the rest of the team, they now face the Master of Magnetism. Magneto attacks, restraining them against the wall. Magneto tries to make the X-Men understand his plan, but Storm states more people will get hurt like Senator Kelly. Magneto flies to Rogue and the X-Men use this opportunity to stop him from below. Storm summons strong winds that propel Wolverine into the air and onto Magneto's device, which he then destroys. Storm and the X-Men successfully stop the Brotherhood. The following day, Storm watches Senator Kelly on the news, but knows it's Mystique in disguise. 1 year later, Storm is on a school trip, teaching students about history and human evolution.
Have you guys seen Bobby and Rogue?
She can't locate Bobby and Rogue as they were busy getting in trouble with other school kids. On the news, they see there was an attack on the White House. Later, Storm grows worried as she thinks the government will respond by reintroducing the Registration Act.
The government will respond. They'll reintroduce the Registration Act.
Xavier sends Storm and Jean to find the mutant that was in the White House earlier. Before she and Jean venture off, she reunites with Logan briefly and suggests he stay and babysit the students while they are gone. Storm is given the coordinates of the mutant's whereabouts.
Let's hope he cooperates.
Once she arrives at the destination, she calls out to the mutant, realizing he is a teleporter. After running out of patience, Storm summons lightning, revealing the mutant to be known as Nightcrawler. He explains to Storm about his terrific past and what happened before the White House, which he does not remember. Storm questions the markings on his body, asking if he had done those to himself, but Jean spots an unusual mark. They take Nightcrawler back with them so they can get him to the professor. On the way back home, Storm has a chat with Nightcrawler, wanting to know more about his markings. She explains she is a school teacher for mutants to help keep them safe. Wolverine radios in, stating to pick them up on the way and to hurry. Storm arrives to pick up Wolverine and the others, learning that the school had been attacked while they were away.
We've got 2 signals approaching.
On their way home, they are approached by 2 fighter jets, warning them to stop. After a few warnings, they strike. Storm tries to shake them inside the X-Jet. With no luck, Storm summons a fleet of tornadoes which takes them out. One of the fighters managed to shoot a missile before they ejected. After being hit, the X-Jet starts to crash land, but they are rescued by Magneto. Later in the evening, Magneto catches the X-Men up with what William Stryker is planning, which is to use Xavier to use Cerebro to kill every mutant on the planet. After Jean scans Nightcrawler's mind, they are able to locate the base where Xavier is being held captive. Inside the X-Jet, Storm briefs everyone on the layout of the facility using a holographic map. Magneto sends Mystique inside. Once in, she tells Storm she got to the console successfully. Storm and the others enter through the spillway and locate Mystique. Storm sees the children trapped in a containment cell. Storm takes Nightcrawler to look for the children, and she will meet the others at Cerebro.
Okay, we're coming.
Storm and Nightcrawler locates Jubilee and the others and rescues them. Moments later, Storm and Nightcrawler locate Cerebro in order to stop Xavier. Jean realizes that Magneto has reversed Cerebro and is now soon to attack all humans on the planet. She asks Nightcrawler to teleport them inside. Once inside, Storm surveys the area and knows it's an illusion. She calls out for Professor Xavier. Not being able to detect him, she creates a blizzard which breaks the illusions created by a mutant that was securing Stryker's plans. Once she finds him, the facility starts to fall apart. Nightcrawler teleports her out and they take Xavier and the students out through the spillway. Once out, the X-Jet flies above them piloted by Rogue. Relieving Rogue of her duties, Storm tries to get the plane up and running before they are hit by rushing water from the dam that has collapsed from earlier. Jean uses her powers to restore the ship's controls and creates a barrier around them so they could escape the wreckage. Storm and the X-Men pay the President a visit, revealing to him Stryker's plans of torturing mutants.
These files were taken from the private offices.
3 years later, Storm along with the X-Men are in the danger room preparing for the dangers they may face ahead. Storm tries to teach Logan to work as a team. After not listening, Storm grows frustrated with him, stating this is not a game. Storm later stands on the balcony as she has growing concerns. She wants to know why the X-Men are hiding while there are real dangers out in the world. Xavier reveals that he hopes she takes his place someday. Storm reunites with an old friend and teammate, Hank McCoy. He gives them news about Mystique and how a pharmaceutical facility has created a cure for the mutant gene. Storm finds it ridiculous that such a thing is being created in the first place. Her frustration is stated even further once it's stated on TV. She stands her ground against this cure, as mutants are not a disease, and there is nothing to cure. Later that evening, a surge of psychic energy is felt throughout the school. She and Logan runs to the professor, and he sends them to Alkali Lake to investigate. Once they arrive, they notice the area seems strange. It is covered in thick fog. Storm uses her powers to clear the skies. She continues to look around. Storm finds Jean unconscious. They take her back to the mansion. Later in the day, Storm hears a loud noise and comes to see Logan lying on the ground. He was just knocked back by Jean. Xavier suggests they visit Jean's home. He takes Storm and Wolverine along with. Once they arrive, they see Magneto and the Brotherhood is already there. Xavier and Magneto goes inside to talk with Jean, but it does not go as planned. The X-Men do battle with Juggernaut, Quills, and Callisto. The battle resulted in the death of Xavier. Storm consoles Wolverine as they cry together from their loss. A few days later, a funeral is held where Storm gives a speech as the now acting headmaster of the school. Keeping the spirit of Xavier's dream alive, Storm keeps the school open. Wolverine tries to venture out alone to find Jean, but Storm tries to convince him to stay as Jean made her choice. Wolverine leaves but later returns after finding her. He warns the X-Men of Magneto's plans. The X-Men suit up for battle, but before heading out, she asks Wolverine if he is truly ready for the worst when that time comes. Storm flies the X-Men into the battlefield. The X-Men arrive and have a standoff with the Brotherhood. The X-Men battle, but Storm is met with Callisto for another round. Storm ultimately wins. Jean Grey's powers unleash and Storm gets the others to safety while Wolverine takes on Jean. After a successful mission, the school remains open and the X-Men stay along the path. In the future, the X-Men escape yet another time-traveling mission of trying to change the future. Kitty Pryde calls out to Professor. He, along with Storm, Wolverine, and Magneto, track them down.
But only succeeded in driving it away.
They explain to Wolverine and others of their plans to travel back in time to stop Mystique from assassinating Trask from creating the mutant-hunting Sentinels, which has brought about their current dark future. After a decision is made, Wolverine is sent back to the past. With time running out, the X-Men must fight the Sentinels of the future. Storm creates a big windstorm, slowing down multiple Sentinel hubs. After Storm destroys hundreds of Sentinels, she is struck by one of them from behind, resulting in her death. Eventually, Wolverine is able to stop Mystique in the past, and there is now a better outcome for their present future.
Good job.
Storm is now seen once again teaching and mentoring students at the School for the Gifted with nothing but smiles. Hope you guys enjoyed this timeline for Halle Berry's Storm in the X-Men franchise. If you would like to see more timelines for X-Men characters, please leave a like and subscribe.